Hey guys, welcome along to Monday Night Rumble. Monday night means it's GT4 night, and as we said last night, the boys are back at Canadian Motorsport Park tonight. The GT4s have got two 30-minute races with a fuel stop in both races. Starting fuel is about 50% of what they need in all cars, so expect some action in the pits tonight. Everybody tries to get their fuel numbers right. Currently, boys are now just commenced their qualifying. They're about 2.5 minutes into their qualifying session, which 15-minute open session. So we might head down on track and see who's setting the Motorsport track on fire tonight. See, Loshi has set a purple sector for Sector 1 so far. Moz is purple in Sector 2. It's sort of evenly spread there as Neville Mel jumps to the top with a 122.676, closely followed by Loshi, who's just been eclipsed by Damo in the McLaren. Not really sure whether the tow has much effect at this track, but I'm sure we'll find out as the two races unfold. We got so far 25 entries, which is probably one of our biggest fields to date in the GT4s on a Monday night, so it's certainly going to make it interesting. Get some weather details. Track's currently at 23 degrees. Ambient slightly cooler at 18. Not much wind about. As Neville Mel lowers that lap time once again down to a 1:22.2 this time. Holly, meanwhile, has jumped up into that second spot. Matt Tesorio having a really good night so far in the Big Merc. He's up into fourth at the moment. See by the timing tower, not a lot of difference in the lap times at this stage. Nev's got a bit of a break, nearly 4/10 at the top of the table, but other than that, they're all very, very close. It's a really long back straight, this circuit, but it is also uphill. It's an uphill climb all the way, so I'm thinking maybe the tow may have a little bit of a part tonight. Have to wait and see. We're riding on board with Matt Tesorio at the moment. Now jump on board with Neville Mel. I think Neville might be one of only two BMWs in the field tonight, so that's going to make it interesting whether the Beamer... We know the Beamer is basically an untouchable force at Bathurst. Sure how it will go here at Canadian, but so far looks like Neville's got the wood on the rest of the field. If doesn't improve that time around about 6/10 off his best time. Oz has improved slightly that lap. Loshi, meantime, has now jumped back up into that second spot again in the Porsche. Chris Baker, also in a Porsche, is up to 6. Glenn Boyd at the moment is quite a bit further down than where he'd want to be in 14th. Keithy Logan, who's leading our AM class at the moment, down in 17th. Needs to pull his finger out a little bit. Boys were saying this is a really tough track to overtake at, so you don't want to be starting too far back, that's for sure. Over the halfway mark. Around about 6.5 minutes to go. Like anyone's improving much at this stage, although the track temp has gone up by 1 degree since the start of qualifying, so that may also be playing a part. Oh, I think that was Loshi that might have just run a little bit wide there. Nev gives it away. Pick up on Henry, who's now slotted up into that second position. Doesn't look like we've got young Jack Boyd with us tonight, so a few of these boys will be keen to try and close down that points gap. Jack is leading the pro class at this point in the season, so I think that a few of the boys will be keen to try and narrow that gap. They get the opportunity. Of course, apart from Jack leading the pro championship, it's all fairly close. So I think most of the rest of the field are all fairly close, so makes it tough for just one other person to jump ahead and try and track down that points gap that Jack has built over the first 5 rounds. Got just under 5 minutes to go now. As you can see, there no one is actually setting personal best. So Rob McGrath has just done that in the sector 2. Rob is where's Rob? Currently up in 5th. Keithy Logan still currently down in that 17th spot. Hear the roar of the roar of the engines on some of these cameras. Love the sound of the GT4s. Become a bit of a staple for the Rumble Racing League's 5 seasons, as we've always had fairly good patronage of the GT4s. Hopefully it'll continue on next season as well. Been really lucky this season with slightly lower numbers. We've been able to race some of the tracks that we wouldn't normally race with big grid sizes, and I think the racing overall this season has probably been some of the best we've actually seen. So yeah, no, there's a lot to be said for having big grid numbers, but sometimes smaller numbers produces better racing, and I think that's what we're seeing this season. We're just approaching about 2.5 minutes left. I was set a personal best in Sector 1, but then aborted that lap, so just looking at Lucas Baker at the moment, Southern Cross Porsche. Lucas currently in that 9th spot. Shannon Curry's on a good lap at the moment. Go and pick up on Shannon as he's about to cross the line. He's done 2 personal best. Not quite matched that in the 3rd sector, but still a decent lap time, a 1:24.3. See Shannon in that 20th spot at the moment. Well, Glenn Boyd is still finding it tough. He's managed to get up to 14th. He's just coming up on the back of Shannon now. Amo's just commenting on the top 10. It is very, very close at the top. Going to make it for some very interesting racing based on the times that we've seen in qualifying. I think practice was pretty much the same, so hopefully we can get the field away and get into some really good racing tonight. It's not very often you see less than a second covering such a big field, so certainly is going to be interesting as Glenn. I don't think Glenn's going to improve on his time. In fact, no, he won't. He did go personal best in the last sector, but I don't think that's going to lift him up the board. Have a bit of work to do from that 14th spot in race 1. So I think the majority of the field are just about completed. We'll get an official grid up very shortly. So the flag falls on qualifying. Gridding up for race 1. Let's have a look at our grid for race 1. It'll be Neville Mell, that pole position, the 122 flat. Then it'll be Henry Fenson out of 2, Wayne Losh out of 3, Moz Moroz, Rob McGrath, Steve Barker, Damien Seeger, Vic Polly, Lucas Baker, Matt Tesorio out of 10. Then it's Benjamin Singer, John Thorne. Go over the page. It'll be Darren Linus, Glenn Boyd, Dave Gogol, Nick Clydesdale, Keithy Logan, Ray Harrison, Scott Baker, Phil Paradiso out of 20, and Shannon Curry, Campbell Hutton, Glenn Hill, and Joshua Woolley. Rounds out our field of 24 runners. Everybody grids up. Waiting on the last few to join the grid. Everybody's on the grid. Lights are on. Underway. And green flag. Looks like Neville got a good jump away from that pole position, which he has. Loshi is slotted into that second. Henry's trying to hang around the outside at the moment. I think Loshi be happy to let Henry back in. Got a few people gone off track towards the back of the field, but our front runners at this stage all seem to have made it through safely. Quite a few people running off track at the back there. Boys make their way down the back straight for the first time. Henry's putting a little bit of pressure on Nev already. Henry pulls out of the slipstream, but I don't know that. I'm going to try and go around the outside. No, thinks better of it. So we're right on board with Loshi at the moment. Got Moz tucked in behind him. Neville sets the quickest time, coming under a little bit of pressure now from Henry. I think Henry's pretty keen to get to the front. We've got a couple of pit stops already. Darren Linus, Ben Singer, Dave Gogol. Not sure if that's with damage or just a different strategy. But certainly you can get your pit stop done on lap 1 if you so desire. So Loshi just tickles the throttle as they head onto that back straight. Look at our weather map. Track temperature's gone up to 26 degrees now, so definitely a bit warmer than what we had in both practice and qualifying. As John Thorne has also gone into the pits. Oh, we've got a crasher. Looks like that's Lucas Baker dropping down the order. Go and have a look and see what's happened to Lucas. He's tried to turn down. Rob McGrath was already there. You can't. Better leave a car's width. Otherwise, that's the result. As we head back to the front. Still our, what do we got? Front 7 cars. Are all fairly tightly bunched as Loshi looks to make a move now on. I don't know what happened to Henry. But Loshi certainly moved up into that second spot. Bit of a freight train. Meanwhile, as we look at our shakers and movers, Tony S is a big jumper. Tony has jumped up 10 spots early in the race. It's Tony in the Porsche, just in behind Shannon Curry. Josh Woolley likewise is up 7 spots. The big Merc. Clydesdale, another one of our Southern Cross boys, has also managed to jump up 5 spots. Well, Keithy Logan's night has gone from bad to worse. He's down in 19th at the moment. Telling us that Lucas has had another crash. Looks like things are going from bad to worse for Lucas at this stage. see what's happened here. Oh no, I think that might just be that he had to wait for the traffic to get through. Oh, no, he's gone. Hold on to it, Lucas. Yep, no, he's all good. He's just trying to stay out of everyone's way, which is good to see. We head back up the front, and still Neville Mel managed to get a gap now of over a second. Likewise, Loshi has got over a second back to Henry and Moz, who are joined by Steve Barker and Damo. As Loshi sets the quickest lap time of the race so far with a 1:22.43 on lap 4. So they commence lap 5, our quarter race distance. We can see Darren Linus is the first of our guys to have pitted so far. So we'll go back and find Damo following. Steve Barker, got Rob McGrath. So he's in a Mercedes sandwich. And while Phil Paradiso jumped into the pits. Shannon Curry now into the pits as well. But Glenn Hill, I think, also into the pits. Is up the front. Neville Mel still got that 1.2 second lead at the moment over Loshi. Right on board with Nev. Hear the throttle work. Nev tries to navigate his way onto the back straight. Steve Barker's doing a really good job at the moment, holding down that 5th spot, up 1 spot from his starting position. Chasing down Moz, currently 4th. Henry Fenson looks like he's got through. Oh no, Loshie's jumped into the pits now, as has Glenn Boyd. Getting their pit stops out of the way just before we reach the halfway mark of the race. I think most of the cars have got about 10 laps of fuel, so it'd be interesting to see who pushes it to the absolute limit, as we see Campbell Hutton now jumping into the pits as well. Paradiso is back into the pits. Not sure what's gone on there. I think Phil might have gone off track. Let's go back and see if we can find out what's happened to Phil. Oh, he's just looped it on his own and into the wall. Obviously got a bit of damage. To go back to the pits to get that repaired. As a Scotty Baker, as I said, Phil are in the pits as well. So guys making their way through past some lap traffic at this stage. As Damo, Neville Mell jump into the pits. As does Rob McGrath, Mick Polly, Matt Tesorio. Leaves Henry out the front. Oz still chasing him. Big G is in the house. How you going, G? Good to have you back, mate. Big G is our #1 supporter of Rumble TV. Have to get him a t-shirt made up as our #1 supporter. Win the #1 ticket. So Neville Mell has popped back out after his pit stop in 6th position, but Loshie is not that far behind. As the top 5 at the moment are yet to pit. Nick Clydesdale's having a really good run at this stage. He's up 12 spots. He's, as a Henry Fenson and Moz jump into the pits, as does Steve Barker. There's Josh Woolley up 19 spots. I think most of these boys will probably need to pit this time around, as Josh now jumps into the pits. We go back and find Neville Mell. Be interesting to see where boys coming out of the pits land in relation to Neville and Loshie to make their way around the pit exit. I can see Henry leading the charge. Neville's got through. I think Loshie will. Oh, Loshie and Henry are side by side. Oh, this. Who is going to blink first? Loshie's trying to hang on. Hang on. Loshie will have the slightly warmer tyres, but I think Henry has managed to grab that spot, as Rob McGrath now into the pits as well. if that's Rob's first or second pit stop. I wonder if got nothing coming up on our timing screen to say that he's had an incident, so may have just got his fueling wrong the first time. So our order after the pit stops is Neville Mill, then it's Henry Fenson, Loshi, Osmoroz, Damo up into that 5th position, then Steve Barker, Mick Polly, Glenn Boyd up 6 spots into that 8th position at the moment, then Matt Tesorio and Darren Lydas rounding out our top 10. With Loshi. Neville Mell's got that familiar 1.1, 1.2 gap back to Henry at this stage. So now that we've done the pit stops, might bring up our top speed chart. So we can get an idea of idea on who's got the top speed, which we will get down the back straight next time around. So last time around it was actually Damo with a bit of a tow. The other cars all so evenly matched. Neville in the Beamer is probably down a little bit, about 3 Ks. So we hear the thudders. Loshi takes a lot of that outside curb through the double right-handers. All right, let's get a bit of a reading on these top speeds. Of course, a lot of it's also dependent on what sort of exit they get out of those those 2 right-hand corners leading onto the back straight. But again, fairly similar to last time around. So looks like the McLaren has definitely got an advantage. Damo's not going to want to hear that at all. McLaren is 239, around about 4 Ks an hour quicker than the Beamer. So I think we're coming up on some slower traffic ahead. Looks like Glen Hill ahead. This is going to make it interesting for our front runners. Glenn gets out of the way. I think everybody's managed to get through. Got about 5.5 laps to go. Sorry, 6.5 laps to go. Let's have a look at some of our sector times. Well, so Henry is quicker through sector 1, which is the sector we're coming up on now, by bring up our track map. You can see by the little red dots the sectors. So Neville's just about to head through sector 1 as Henry puts a little bit of pressure on him now. Henry was 2.5 tenths quicker that time around. Making their way up to sector 2 now. Henry was just that little bit slower, not much in it at all. Sector 2. So Henry actually made all of his gains through this next section of track as they cross the line. That'll be sector 3 done. Henry looks to try and get up the inside. Again, Henry was slightly quicker. She's still there in the background in that 3rd spot at the moment. So you can, as we can see, the times fluctuate every lap. Neville was quicker, but now it looks like Henry's got a bit of a run. He's going to pull out. It's going to be a drag race. Oh, they've got a slower car in front. I think Henry's done the V8 supercar trick as Neville tries to now make it 3 wide. Gets around. He's going to try and hang around the inside. Oh, gives Henry a little bit of a tap there. That was just unlucky that they came across that lapped car when they did. But Henry certainly played it smart. I'd stick with this battle for one more lap because I reckon Nev fancies his chances a little bit. He can stay in the tow. We look at the lap speeds now. Three laps to go. This is still anyone's race. Really close, too close to call at the moment. Nev's right on the back of Henry again. Is he close enough to pull out of that tow and make a difference? He's going to have to go the long way. Henry's looking to... Oh, they've touched. Henry moved across there. I think Oh, they've touched again and they've wiped each other. Oh, that's... Oh. Did Loshi make it through? I think he has. It's Neville and Henry both out. Sure how the stewards are going to view that one. I know there was an initial touch as Henry tried to push Nev wide, but that second touch I'm not sure. But, that's definitely on Henry, that one. You can't be moving across the track like that. And Nev's caught the inside curb, which has just caused more contact, and that's all she wrote. And on that note, Neville has disconnected for the night, so go and find somebody else to follow. Oh, that's certainly spread the field out. Should be a fairly comfortable drive home for Loshi from here. He's 1.5 seconds up on Moz. Yeah, go back and find Glenn Boyd. Passing Steve Barker, as we're on the final lap now. Glenn's up 9 spots. It's been a really good run by Glenn this opening race. See what you're missing, G? Loshi's pushed cruise mode, as has Moz. Neither one of them are under any real pressure. It's a good battle further back, but we might stick with Loshi as he crosses the line. His way through that final corner onto the straight. Steve Barker holds on to that 4th position. Just wait for the final few cars to cross the line. Get some official results up very shortly. In the meantime, guys have got a 5-minute session now before race 2. Hopefully calm a few tempers, and back for race 2 very, very shortly. we've got about 20 seconds of our warm-up session left. Before we get race 2 underway. To have a quick look at results of that heat 1. Loshi in first, Oz in second. Henry is provisionally in third, but I have a feeling there might be some penalties coming Henry's way. Steve Barker in fourth. Glenn Boyd, good drive to finish fifth. Then Damien Seeger, Michael Polly. Matt Tesorio in eighth. Then Darren Linus, Tony S, Benjamin Singer. We're getting ready to that one away as the boys are lining up for their race 2. The grid will be same as what we've just seen. So we'll be Loshi off pole, then Moz Moroz, Henry Fenson, Steve Barker, Glenn Boyd, Damien Seeger, Mick Polly, Matt Tesorio, Darren Linus, Tony S, Ben Singer, Nick Clydesdale at 12. We go over the page. Then it's Keithy Logan, Joshua Woolley, Dave Gogol, Shannon Curry, Campbell Hutton, Ray Harrison, Rob McGrath, John Thorne, Lucas Baker, Glenn Hill, Phil Paradiso, and our last 2 in Neville Mel. I know Neville has disconnected, so as we get underway and we are now racing. It's Loshi that leads them away from Moz. Henry in that third spot, then Glenn Boyd has made up a position already. Our track has cooled down significantly. We're late in the afternoon now, so that track temp has dropped off. The field roars down the back straight for the first time. Still Loshi leading from Moz. Henry currently in that third spot. So Dave Gogol jumps into the pits, as does Campbell Hutton, getting their pit stops out the way early. Ray Harrison's had an off back at the start. Oh, he's got a tap from behind from John Thorne. Oh dear. Some over-exuberant driving there. Thorny. Resulted in Ray having a spin. Ray's now into the pits. Get any damage fixed, get his fuel stop out the way. Hopefully that won't impact his race too much. There's still Loshi leading up the front. Darren Linus has managed to gain one spot. Currently running in that 8th spot. Just in behind Mick Polly. Ben Singer behind him. back. It's Rob McGrath now in the Merc. Rob's currently, where's Rob? Currently down in 16th, up 3 spots. John Thorne and Shannon Curry directly ahead. Thorny just to try and make it up the inside. It's always risky through this part, as we saw in race 1. Oh, Thorny lost it. Managed to hold on to it. So Rob looks to try and find a way through on Shannon. Rob's got a really good run out of this corner. Shannon's moved to pull. It's a really tough track to get the pass done. Rob's got a good run out of here now. Maybe he can work with the toe and way through just yet. Oh, as Ray Harrison's coming back on, stays out of the way. Well done, Ray. As Shannon, I think, jumps into the pits. It's cleared the way for Rob. Got Thorny tucked in behind him. Saw Thorny have that lose on the previous lap. As we head back up towards the front, it's still Loshi leading. Of a freight train behind Loshi at this stage. It's like Campbell Hutton's come undone. I just had a gentle loop all on his own. Be able to fire that back up, which he does. Continue on, no damage. Oh, got a bit of a freight train happening back here. It's Ben Singer with Darren Linus directly ahead and Matt Tesorio behind. Behind this trio, a Porsche. I've got a bit of action happening further up track. Looks like Damo's in a bit of a battle with Steve Barker. Has Damo got that job done? Oh, Steve's got the blinks on a little bit. That'll make it a little bit difficult. Oh, it's actually Damo that's blinking. It's the battle of the blinkers. So Mick Polly tucked in behind Damo in the Southern Cross McLaren. Well, go back and find Keithy Logan. He hasn't really had the night that I think he was hoping for so far. He has done his pit stop. So Scott Baker's up the road. Sorry, it's Phil Paradiso up the road. Quite a distance. He's got Keithy's got Josh Woolley as Loshie's now jumped into the pits from the lead of the race, as has Steve Barker. I think Clydesdale's also in the pits, as that puts Moz now up the front. It's Moz, Henry and Glenn Boyd, currently your top three. Not much separating. Not much separating our front three at the moment. We say that Glenn and Moz both jump into the pits. Loshie's making his way down the back straight. So Henry and Ben Singer have both stayed out at this stage. Loshie crosses the line, and there's a whole heap of cars coming out of the pits. Moz looks like he managed to get past. I think Moz will actually back out of this for the time being. Quite as aggressive as some of the other drivers. Oz will be happy to sit there and work out a strategy for later on in the race. We expect both Henry and Ben to pit this lap based on our stats from race 1. Henry now is into the pits, as is Ben. It's just a matter of based on where Loshie was positioned last time, this is going to be very, very close. Really going to get down to how well they can execute their pit stop as to where they're going to filter back out. As we can see, Glenn Boyd ran just over a second behind Moz after doing his pit stop. They're coming up on pit exit now, and there's Henry. So Henry has jumped to the lead, but as I said, it's all going to get down to how much fuel these boys have taken on, and whether it's enough to see it to the end. As Ben has actually come out a bit of traffic. He's tucked in behind Mick Polly and Damo. got Steve Barker and Darren Linus, who is looking to try and find a way through on Steve. Right on board with Darren. Darren's got a really good run out of that corners, but of course he's going to have to go around the long way if he wants to get this move done. Steve fairly late on the brakes, manages to hold off Darren this time around. On board with Steve Barker, looking back at Darren's psychedelic McLaren. So we're down to 22 runners this time around. Looks like Neville Mill, Glenn Hill, Ray Harrison have all decided 2 races is too hard for one night. We've still got a field of 22 runners. See how close Darren can get. The help from the toe. Darren pulls out, he's thinking about it. We look at their top speeds. Darren was about 2 k's an hour quicker that time down the straight. Meanwhile, up ahead, Glenn Boyd has set the fastest lap of the race as he puts Moz under some pressure. Moz is making that McLaren as wide as a B double at this stage. I don't think he's that keen on letting Glenn simply walk on by. Both cars get a little bit squirrely on the brakes. You can see how much both drivers are trying this time around. Again, you see the effect of the toe. Was keen to get back on the power then, but just ran that little bit wide on exit. See the McLaren bouncing. This track is probably not the smoothest. To unsettle these cars quite a bit. As Glenn gets a run, thinks about it. Oz is very late on the brakes. Glenn's got a good run out of here this time. And he close up. Just that little bit too far away. Moz is running a defensive line. Glenn's going to try around the outside. I think Glenn may have done it this time. Oz will give him a bit of room, but then it's last corner. Oz is going to hang tough and manages to hold on. He's had a shallow exit, which is going to make it hard I think we lost Glenn for a short period of time. This is what we call Glenn's stealth mode, where he disappears, and Moz is now desperately trying to work out where Glenn will come back on track. Which is the beauty of Adelaide's NBN, for those of you that don't know. Our NBN in South Australia is absolutely brilliant. Politicians should be totally applauded for the effort they have made. When you think of NBN in South Australia, you think of dial-up. As Glenn's back with us now, and he's actually still in behind Moz. Would have been a bit daunting for Moz there for that 3/4 of a lap when Glenn sort of disappeared, but hopefully he'll stay with us. That's Namo in the background. About 1.5 seconds further back. Did put in a quicker lap time that time around, Namo, so definitely making ground. It's got around about 5 laps. Try and get onto the back of this little battle. We go back and have a look at this battle with Tony S and Matt Tesorio. Logan trying to buy a ticket into to this little battle as well. Josh Woolley's not that far behind either. Dave Gogol around about nearly 2 seconds further back at this stage. Dave circulating in 14th, which is a really solid effort. Dave doesn't get a lot of time to practice these days with his speedway commitments, so he's doing a really consistent effort there to be running up in 14th. Further up the track, this battle's still raging with Darren Linus, Steve Barker, Ben Singer and Mick Polly. All relatively nose to tail, less than a second between them all. So who's that? One of the Southern Cross boys just cruising around slowly on the outside of the track. I think that might have been Scott Baker. Yeah, I think Scotty's been on a bit of an excursion. Have a bit of damage, I think. Getting out of the way. Either that or he's looking for a job with Scott Bonner. Scotty's now into the pits, so yeah, guessing he might have picked up a bit of damage there. Meanwhile, we go back up to this battle with Moz and Boydie. About 2.5 laps left to run. Damo has made up quite a bit of territory. He's not that far behind now. Jump on board with Damo. Watch the show as Glenn pulls to the outside. Glenn's got a bit of a run. It's a long way around through these first couple of corners, but if he can hang on, he may get the inside run, which he does, but that's going to make it tight for the last turn as Moz hangs tough on the inside. So now it's a drag race. Damo's got the best seat in the house, as we can see. Oh, no! Oh, commentators curse again as... Oh, dear. Go back and have a quick look and see what happened there. I think it... our boys might have just... Hard to say. As Glenn backs in and loses. Oh, the wings hop straight back on again, which is good. I think Moz is waiting to redress as well, so it's going to cost them both a bit of time. It puts Damo up on the podium. Meanwhile, Loshie's closed right in on the back of Henry. I wonder if Henry's fuel is an issue for these last couple of laps. Like we said, he was very quick in and out of the pits. It was actually around 2 seconds quicker than most of the other boys, so I wonder if he's just struggling a little bit for fuel. See looking at the sector times down the bottom, you can see how much Loshie has managed to gain, especially over that last lap. So I'm guessing that Henry is actually fuel saving at this stage. I don't think Loshie's going to offer to give him a push down the straight either. That McLaren coughs, I'm guessing that Loshie's going to be in like Flynn. Henry's trying to make the McLaren as wide as he can. They head to the line. He will hold on only just over Loshie. Damo will get home for a really well-deserved third. Then it'll be Mick Polly, Ben Singer, Steve Barker, Darren Linus. Oz, after doing that redress, Boydie managed to get home in 14th. We just wait for the last couple of runners, and then we should be able to get some official results up. That's everybody home. All right, let's have a look at some official results for that race 2. And it was... oh, that's race 1. Sorry about that. Have a double look then. So it was Henry home in first, across the line, a couple of tenths quicker than Loshie in second. Damo home in third. Then it's Mick Polly, fourth. Ben Singer, Steve Barker, Darren Linus, Moz Moroz, Tony S, Keith Logan, Matt Tesorio, Josh Woolley, Dave Gogol, Glenn Boyd, Lucas Baker, Rob McGrath, Nick Clydesdale, John Thorne, we go over the page. And it's Shannon Curry, Phil Paradiso, Campbell Hutton, Scotty Baker, who disconnected, Ray Harrison disconnected, Glenn Hill, Neville Mell failed to start. That's it. There's your 2 races from Canadian Motorsport Park tonight. On that note, I think we're done. We will be back again next Sunday night from Brands Hatch for our BMW M2 Club Sport Rumble series. So until then, stay safe, and we'll catch you all 7 p.m. next Sunday night. Thanks, guys.